You hear that? You hear that?
But
You bitch. Welcome to Drag the Lake. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Malfrey. With you, as always, the late great Pat the Grateful Dead, the bitch George. How you doing, buddy?
that's not my
Yeah.
name. But if anybody wants one apple a day, we'll keep Andy super gay. So
An apple a day. I'm gay.
Andy,
Hey, Rocco in the chat already. What's up, brother? How we doing?
Rock Zero, what's going on?
That's pretty sick, dude. 30 seconds in, we already got the boys here.
30 seconds in, we're giving you quality content like apples and stuff. But how are you doing today, Andy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm fucking I've been listening to a lot of good music. I actually had I had off on Friday. Here, wait,
Yeah,
we are live with Drag the Lake. Let me tweet that out real quick. It is tweeted out. Yes, I'm tweeting out the link to the live stream. If you're listening to this in the future, you can always come hang out with the boys. We stream these every Sunday. Hang out with us, have a gay old time. But I've been streaming out. I've been streaming a little bit more too because I had off on Friday, and I wanted to. I'm a big fan of content. I love making the content, I was streaming over on the Rumble page, which in the future we're gonna bring back the new music streams. YouTube is GAY about that, so we are gonna go mosey on over to Rumble to play copywritten music.
Yeah, where
we fucking love it.
Everybody loves people there.
Yeah, everyone over there is chill.
Yeah,
we're just gonna be just patriots playing copywritten music,
matching their energy, listening to music, same ideas,
But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff made where I want to remind everyone I made another channel called Drag the Lake DTL R&R Drag the Lake reviews and reactions. It's a short form channel for some reactions, and I was talking over there about Dance Gavin Dance, new song by Speed, which I gotta send that to you. You know Speed?
No, not personally.
They're kind of like they're like a more mature Australian Tsunami. They're a good fucking time because they have the similar energy to Tsunami, but the same sort of tuning like Kubla Khan. It's a good, intense experience, and they put out a new video where it's just about hugging your bros, and it's solid energy. I like it a lot. So I was talking about that. I was talking about a bunch of bands. Go over to DTL R&R if you want to watch some short form content. But we're over here doing the long form, talking about music. Just having a good fucking time. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but what's on your mind, Patrick?
Not a muchacho. I've been listening to nothing in particular, just stressing out about moving to Texas. That's pretty much it. That's
hell yeah.
Pretty much the only thing, just panicking, crying, probably eating too much,
shitting and pissing.
Yeah, shitting, pissing, sleeping, waking up. Well,
you just wake up morning fucking again.
Ah, damn it. But pretty much, just the same old. What's the band With Sails Ahead?
Yeah, they were a band. Shout out Foxtrot when we were talking to them a lot more. Really missing the live streams ever since we reviewed their album, but I'm not noticing that.
Oh boy.
But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit.
We don't notice.
What?
We don't notice that you've been missing the live streams.
Yeah, we don't notice and think about it every stream. No big deal. But anyway, go listen to Foxtrot.
If you want. After the live stream.
If you trust them.
Yeah.
But no, Foxtrot, they do rule. I'm just kidding. Go check out their album, Foxtrot. It rules. And the lead singer Foxtrot got me privy to this band With Sails Ahead. They're pretty dope because they sort of exist in that swancore genre mixed with the whole album just sounds like an anime soundtrack. So that was the album I chose to in replacement of, because me and Pat are taking a break from the joint full album reaction videos. I'm doing a little bit more current albums and this and that. So yeah, that's why I talked about that one, because that shit just rips so fucking hard. Yeah, I like anime music.
Yeah, it was just good. Like I don't know how to put it, but like it was just like a really well put album, like well made, I guess. But like I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. but like, and it was just really good having it on in the background. I didn't want to call it a background noise album. I don't mean
No,
that way, but like I had it just kind of playing in the background, but it like at no point was it unpleasant. You know what I mean? So like I had
no,
just haven't given it a in depth yet.
yeah, and I really like doing those. I really like doing those full. I get a little self conscious just like being, probably being labeled to other people as a reaction guy, but I don't know. I've just done I've crunched the numbers, and it's just like the best way to sort of go through and analyze the music. So
Yeah.
I love doing those so much. And I'll give myself credit. Usually I spend more time talking than the albums are. So that album was like 44 minutes, and I think the video was like an hour 43.
I think that's the other point too, is like the fact that the music that we're listening to a lot of times, I think, is just like it has more. It's more than just what, like, the reason we're listening to it usually, or why we would want to break it down, is just because we have so much more. There's so much more thought put into uh like albums and stuff. Like, you have to stand out some way. You like there's
Yeah.
so much more, like it's not just like you say like a swancore band, like just to help categorize it for people that may not be familiar, but really there's so many bands that are just uncategorizable nowadays. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the from doing those reaction videos, it's actually changed how I listen to music on the way to like shows and stuff now. Instead of being a random playlist guy nowadays, I usually choose an album to listen to, just whatever hits me, just kind of like. And lately it's been Thrice, Visu I've been listening to. I listened to that, and also the latest it's not new, but it was, I think it came out a couple months ago maybe, the latest Darkest Hour album, but full albums instead
Oh
of.
yeah, you fuck with Darkest Hour a lot.
Yeah. So there was hold on, when was this? This is, I'm looking at their latest release, 2024, but February 23rd. So it was a couple months ago. That like that album. Hold on, I just had it up and I was going to give you the name. It is Perpetual Terminal. Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But they that album is actually very satisfying as well. It reminds me of like why I love Darkest Hour. Like, they were kind of like, they were similar to As I Lay Dying, but just had a weirder kind of almost emo-y edge.
Yeah.
But they're still a pretty straightforward kind of metal band. Otherwise, but like full album listens, as opposed to from like start to finish, don't skip anything, just let it play, are a lot more enjoyable to me than just like a random playlist or something that you're trying to get hyped up with. It helps you can zone out during certain songs. If you don't love them, you can kind of do that, because that's what I do. The reason I like, usually I'll listen to like instrumental music when I'm riding or driving sometimes, is just so I can think and not have to worry about, not have to ignore something. But a lot of times naturally, because again, a lot of the albums I like have those goddamn fucking what is it, the, oh damn, I can't think of the word now, the instrumentals, like the
Like interludes and shit.
interludes. Yeah, I couldn't think of that word, the interludes in it. So like naturally sometimes you kind of zone out. But
Can let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick,
go
because
ahead.
you were saying something earlier that made me think of this. I've been wanting to add, because this goes around, this whole thing goes around Twitter a lot of times, and it was something I wanted to ask you because I wasn't sure about, and I wanted to think on it with you. Where is there an album out there that is a literal no skip for you? So like, I have a lot of albums where because I always love to joke about how a lot of albums either have that boring interlude, or they have that, song number 6 or 7 is always their sort of ballad type song that I just go like, okay. And then I just skip past it. And I started to realize, I go, I don't think there's, I don't know if there's any album for me that is a literal no skip. Because every single album, like, even we were talking about Radical. That's like one of my favorite albums ever. I skip over that Feathers is whatever the hell song. Rise or Die Trying by 4 Year Strong, one of my favorite albums ever. I skip over one of the songs in the middle every time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Even with like Run the Jewels, like if I'm listening to Run the Jewels, they always have their sort of low key serious songs towards the end, and I got to be honest, I on repeat listens, I more tend to skip over those songs. So the more I think about it, the more I wonder if there is truly ever an album that is like the only for me, the closest I get to a truly no skip album is a really good EP that has like 5 songs. So if it's 5 songs and you're skipping them, you're like, what are you even doing? Do you have any for you like that?
So actually, there's gonna be I was kind of just quickly going through the Rolodex of albums in my head, but recently the something that I discovered was Artist in the Ambulance by Thrice, especially the re-recorded one, is a unskippable album to me. But there is kind of also, but like the natural progression of it is if I'm not necessarily into one of the songs, I might zone out a little bit, but it's not so egregious that it's skippable. So that's my qualification. Also, I feel like there's for me a lot of times the thing that fucks me up, because there's a couple of honorable mentions. Jesus. Hey Derek.
What up, Derek?
There's a couple that like they get me because of their intro outros. So
Okay.
Norma Jean, and even one of my favorite albums, The Shape of Punk to Come. Every once in a while, I was just like, guys, enough with the noises. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like this weird thing where the theme is they're going into the song Liberation Frequency, but they're going through all these crazy like European sounding thing, like dance stations, and then it goes to another one where it's like they're like flipping through a dial and it's just making these weird noises and scratches, and it's like, all right guys, I get the ambiance.
Yeah.
Same thing with Norma Jean. It's like they get so repetitive sometimes, but oh god, the Aftermath is almost such a perfect fucking album. They also repeat, I feel like, some notes. Like I don't know if it's the songs are supposed to be connected, but like it gets so redundant after a while where I'm like, is it skipping?
Dude, you bring up Norma Jean. It reminds me of I forget what song it is, but it's that first album where Josh Scogan's still on it. And it's honestly the only one I'm like I've listened to a lot of Norma Jean, but it's the only album I'm like I would say I'm familiar with. And I forget there's a song towards the end where they say the one lyric over and over and again, and he goes like bringing a knife to a gunfight, and they changed the way the song's played literally like 4 times, and he's still screaming that. And I remember just hanging out with my friends, and like it got to a certain point where we just didn't stop the song, and my one buddy just starts going, he's like, "What's it like?" Oh, okay.
Oh,
Is it like bringing a knife to a gun? Oh, okay, I thought so. Anyway,
did you say it's like bringing a bike to a gun store? No.
like, oh no, knife to a gunfight. Thank you,
That's
got
what
you.
it
But like, it just
appreciate
I don't know if I've ever listened to that song to the end, because he just says like bringing a knife to a gunfight so many fucking times that you're like, what are we doing? Did you not write enough music? Why are we doing this?
There's it's a weird thing. So like a couple other pretty much perfect albums I would say would be like Heavy Petting Zoo by NoFX is probably one from start to finish that's really really well done. Another one would be Living End's self-titled Living End is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
That's a nice roller coaster of emotions. That's up and down all over. But like basically like just kind of a couple of like early punk albums, I feel like, and Out Come the Wolves. I know I feel like they always kind of have some kind of bullshit somewhere in there.
Out Come the Wolves is one where it's really good, and then you're like, you get like 75% of the way through, and you're like, okay, so you're just doing this the whole time. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like Out Come the Wolves is fucking great, but it's kind of, and I wish more bands would implement that sort of punk ska sound.
Yeah, and
because I was listening to a lot of ska recently, and I like ska for nostalgic purposes, but when you have a very like silly centric ska, like it's not good for like long-term listening.
Yeah, I think maybe even Avenged Sevenfold's Waking the Fallen is a pretty good start to finish. I don't think there's a lot of clunkers in there. But
Okay.
there's
Which
a couple,
album of theirs is that?
That's the one right before City of Evil.
Okay. Is that early?
Yeah, still pretty early. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think there is like there's plenty of them out there, but I think just unknowingly, like you were saying, it's so instinctual that like, oh, track 7, you just skip it. Like, so I think there's a couple in there that I'm like, maybe there are, but the ones that I know for sure, like Heavy Petting Zoo, also So Long, Thanks for All the Shoes is another good No Effects one. A
Yeah.
lot of earlier No Effects, like there's very little fat to be cut, in my opinion.
Well, so you were saying like the skipping. By the way, sidebar, I just looked up. Out Come the Wolves just on its own has 19 songs. You got that. You don't need all those.
No.
I did not. I mean, it's 49 minutes, and a lot of the songs are like a minute and a half to 2.5 minutes. But you know, like I'll just say this, Rancid, you've never needed a 19 song album. That's insane.
Yeah.
Uh no, but you were saying how the skips become instinctual. That sort of correlates to that makes me think of a question I was going to ask earlier where or kind of just a point to bring up. I know for me, there are a lot of albums that were a not start to finish, no skips on the first listen. And then
Yeah.
after repeat listens, you go like, I've listened to this enough. I know I don't want to hear this again. And I remember one of the clearest example, and this relates to stuff we were talking about last week, is Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. The first time you listen, because I'm looking through the track listing, you literally got Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, amazing song. Backseat Freestyle, great song. The Art of Peer Pressure, I know that's not like a main one for people, but I remember it being good. Like, dude, Money Trees, Poetic Justice, Good Kid, Mad City, Swimming Pool. Like, it's fucking bangers from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But the interesting part, and everyone knows this if they listen to Good Kid, Mad City, is when you're listening to it again, just on a more casual tip, it's like, all right, that was fun. Oh yeah, and then there's a 3-minute voicemail thing, and you're
Right.
like, I'm not trying to shit on the art, but I've heard this already. Now you're like, yeah, as a whole work of art, it's fucking great. But now as a casual listening, you're like, oh yeah, now I have to like fucking skip ahead,
Right.
or there are certain albums too, like there are certain songs too that are fucking great. I can't remember a specific example on this album, but there's certain songs in general where you go, this song rips, but it's always annoying because it's got that like 3-minute long intro.
Yeah, and that so I think another one that I forgot to say earlier was Between the Buried and Me, White Colors. That is one that's like it's kind of like I feel like I'm gonna come up on one that's a skip, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm already on track 8. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well then I guess because it's like I feel like there's gonna be a clunker in here, but it just they structured the song so well that it's like it kind of gives you a break, and it kind of if by the time you're like looking like, should I change this song? It's like, oh well, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like it's all taken care of for you. Like they
Yeah.
already do that. So I feel like Americana was another one. There's a couple.
Americana was a really good one. Yeah.
That's like one where it's like it has ups, downs. It goes like it doesn't really ever lag too much. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there is a thing where like again you do go back to the re-listen because when you're first listening to it, you're like you're taking it all in. You're getting all of this for the first time. It's a funny MC Chris is infamous for like half of his album is basically just fucking comedy sketches.
Yeah.
And
It's like
it's
a
like
whole story.
and they're
I,
not great. They're
I,
not great.
I watched, dude, I watched a video recently about MC Chris and like his whole thing. And I thankfully missed this era of MC Chris, but apparently he apparently had a really annoying argue with people online constantly era.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I remember watching the video being like, oh, I used to fucking love this dude. And it
Yeah.
seemed like he ended up sucking ass. Because I think he got way too annoyingly political about everything.
Yeah.
I think he became like a fucking white knight or some shit like that. But
I think he's bisexual.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Ollie, he came out as something maybe, I think, but maybe that might have been him as an ally. I don't know.
Yeah, I think also too, he was just like he would like the vibe I got from the video, it was like it would just be he would do something weird or sus, and then there'd be a long explanation about like why actually it wasn't sus, and also I'm gonna make myself a victim. That was like, I didn't get too deep into it, so I might be wrong, but that was like the whole vibe I got. But no, MC Chris, I remember I was like obsessed with MC Chris when I was younger. And then he was one I went back to, and I was just like, I didn't know good rap. And I don't pride myself in saying that. I just go, MC Chris does not age well if you're like into rap. If you're into nerd rap, I think it like fucking rules. But just in the general sense of hip hop, you're like, this isn't, because there was a I think Kanye spearheaded this thing where people were like, oh, I'm gonna do all the stuff. I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna produce, I'm gonna do, and then you start finding out like there's I don't know, Kid Cudi's not even the best example because he's like, there's so many people who love Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's the biggest one where I go, I more power to him. I'm happy he's got a career. I don't get what you guys are hearing. I'm not trying to be like, it's nothing personal. I just truly don't get it. It's like but like everyone's like, you know, Kid Cudi really helped me through a hard time. And then you listen to it and you're like, these vocals are so boring.
Yeah.
Like the music's not bad. Like I get it if you're more into like psychedelics and shit like that. I see the music being enjoyable, but I genuinely don't get it. But no, like Kid Cudi was a good example. Travis Scott's another one where it's like you guys don't have to like do everything. But I guess Travis Scott's a different example where I always laugh when people talk about Travis Scott's bars, and you're like, that's not why we listen to him. Like, he just makes hype ass music. He just makes really fun music. But yeah, I got off on a tangent because I remember I went back to some MC Chris hoping it would be nostalgic, and it was anything but.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it is like you get it's like it's not necessarily even because like I feel like Weird Al has a little bit more staying power. But like it is very much novelty feeling. Like it doesn't feel like it had its place in time. But it's like a joke. Like once you've heard the joke, you can really love the joke and stuff like that. But it's not going to have the same punch that it does the first time. So like, so when he does it, so when you turn your albums into half comedy sketches, half again joking raps, again comedy rap as well. Like people after a while, it kind of like people get the joke. So like you don't want to listen to the sketches anymore because they're like, it's like half the album. Then you're like, how prolific are you actually being? You're wasting your time writing subpar sketches.
And then once you figure out the thing, you start listening to the music and you're like, the production's not that good.
Right. Oh, this all kind of sucks. And then you're like, oh, well, then I guess it just there, like you said, it has its place in time, but it's also like, but you can outgrow it pretty easily.
And I think stuff like that gets a lot of legs because it's the fan base is like they're emboldened in being weird. They're like, no, it's not bad. You just don't get us. And that feels
supportive. Yeah.
You become like a misunderstood person, and that feels good. And it's like, no. They actually understood it. The music was not that great. I love MC Chris, and I listen to the shitload out. He provided me a lot of like fun listening experiences, but I just got to be honest, going back to it, it did not hold up. One more thing I wanted to throw into the ring with this like no skip, and looking back on it, I will say Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and they're self-titled. Yeah. They're pretty close to no skips for me.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that because it's like, because there's like, not only do you got the hits that are sprinkled in there, but also like those, I guess what you would call deep cuts are, I think, way better than the hits. Like
the biggest example is on Enema of the State. I've always joked that I always make the joke on here that what is it? All the Small Things is possibly the worst song ever written by a good band. But dude, just going through it, and I don't know if it would necessarily work thematically, but almost like vibe wise, they always felt like one piece rather than a bunch of songs. Cause it was like the way the albums would be structured and how they would go and how they would sort of like loosely tie into themselves. It always felt like one long listening experience that you could easily just settle into. But yeah, dude, I'm like, I'm looking at Enema of the State, like, dude, just right off the bat, Dumpweed, Don't Leave Me, Aliens Exist, Going Away to College, What's My Age Again? And then Dysentery Gary, and then you got Adam's Song. Like, honestly,
I forgot. Yeah, Adam's Song was on that one, wasn't it?
and Adam's Song still one. It got kind of overplayed, but Adam's Song still one. But dude, like, I would even listen to All the Small Things all the way through for nostalgic purposes.
It's not a long song. You don't have to put up with it for too long.
Yeah, and it hijacks that part of your brain that just enjoys poppy formulaic shit. So it's not even a bad time. But then, yeah, you got Party Song, Mutt, Wendy Clear, and Anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the small Enema of the State might be a no skip for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, like, once you realize, it sucks because it's like, it's usually, you find out, like, with whether it be NoFX or Blink-182, not necessarily Between the Buried and Me, but those other, like, Blink-182 is a band that will write a song that, even if it is a quote skippable song, you're still going to be like, yeah, but it's only like a minute and a half. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like by the time you're upset with it, or you want to erase it from your memory, it's halfway over or done. So it's like, so I think that's a part of it. But I think overall, like, it's going to be usually a punk band. It's usually like a classic album or something like that. You know what I mean? Those are usually the unskippables, but that's usually how I have my playlist. But you need that structure. I feel like I like the little story being told in an album. I like the journey. The kind of
like with, I'm looking through the track listing too of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and like I'm sure there's no necessary, like, there's not a story from song to song, but if you think about it music wise, like, Enema or Anthem Part 2 is like an intense sort of, it's a good start, but it also is a song that kind of goes contrary to what they normally do. Online Song's just like a super fast, intense song. We get the fucking poppy song with First Date, Happy Holidays, You Bastards, the funny, like, ooh, they said a bunch of curse words. Story of a Lonely Guy gets a little bit more serious. Then we get poppy again with Rock Show. We go serious with Story for Stay Together for the Kids. And then, with the ebb and flow of a good pacing with the rest of the album. I don't want to just do that song to song. But yeah, it's just like musically, the flow, Blink-182, Enema of the State and later. And, well, I don't know. I'm not huge into their, I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar with their post self-titled. California was okay, but besides that, I'm not super familiar with their post self-titled releases. But no, those three albums, they have a very strong understanding of like having a good musical flow from song to song. So I would possibly say those three Blink-182 songs are no skips for me.
Nice. Yeah, I think there's plenty of examples of it for sure, but like it's just something about the no interlude. You don't have nothing draws on too much. Like,
they don't do anything too long.
Yeah, that's really what it is, because it's not that you're not upset about. It's not that there's not other albums that are great, but that's the thing with Unearth is one of the bands that did the interlude for way too long. I think they still do interludes. It's like, dude,
the interlude's still going actually right now.
Yeah, it's the same one from 2008 or whatever.
Boundaries was a good band for their albums flow really well. The last two that they put out. And I'm looking here on Blink's album. Yeah, all three of those albums are about 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enema's 35. Takeoff is 40, I think. 38. And then self-titled is 50 minutes, but it gets artsy in the right kind of way, so it kind of all flows real well together.
Yeah. Yeah, Alkaline Trio will have, they are somebody that I'll excuse a long intro or something like that for sometimes, but I also hate the and by the way, I don't think I would count a intro track either. Are you going to count an intro track? Because like, if it's like a, hey, this is the album and everybody get ready for blah blah blah, you know how that's sometimes we don't count that, guys. If you can skip that one, if it's the first skip just to get into the songs of the album, then I think that's a good distinction. But
I think that's a good point.
Comment. And guys, like I said before, if you're catching this vibe, smash up on subscribe, pound off in the comments, let us know your unskippable albums.
Well, you know,
My YouTube face.
Pat just starts drowning in his own vomit.
Kidding right now. Subscribe. Yeah, I think Derek says Adam's song still makes him sad, and that makes him very angry. I think that's how emotions work. I get I get sad, then angry. Oh no, I get angry and then sad, or angry then confused, or then angry and then.
So Pat, I wanted to give you a few updates on we don't have to tread over it as intensively as we did last time, but I did see some very funny updates on the Kendrick Drake thing.
Yeah, it did kind of. I don't think it slowed down necessarily since the last time we talked about it, but it did. It started to normalize because there was a lot more people involved to start, and then it just really narrowed down to Kendrick and Drake are kind of just.
Well, and there's been a lot of just entertaining developments. First, let's start with entertaining, and then we'll go a little bit more heartwarming and see. But like some of the funniest ones where, first off, so this was the thing I said with Kendrick, where like ultimately with the sort of back and forth with the beef, just on its own, Kendrick wins. I think that's kind of like Drake had some, you got to give it to him. Drake had some good moments, but I think all in all, at the end of the day, Kendrick wins. Not Like Us. It's just way too catchy of a song. You know what I mean? It's Kendrick, just the whole vibe is basically Kendrick won. Now, I will say this. The one thing that kind of like, if you just look at it as a rap beef, it's just all fun on Kendrick's side. But then if you sort of zoom out and you go with the whole like there's that I kept listening to Not Like Us because it's so fucking catchy, which everyone should give a huge shout out to DJ Mustard, because that fucking I'm not gonna say he deserves half the credit, but the fact that beat went so fucking hard was a huge reason Not Like Us caught on the way it did. But like, in Not Like Us, he has that one line where he goes, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And when you really
gonna bring that up, by the way, that I don't even know the song, but Manny at work had been singing that song so much, and he's on Drake's side, and he's been singing that over and over again. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Dude,
I have the back of my head.
Yeah, dude, because Kendrick throws on like a funny voice when he says that. It just flows so well. Where he goes, certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Yeah.
But the funny part that I keep zooming out, and I'm not trying to be a fucking dork, but there is this funny thing where you go like, it's just funny to me to be like, Drake, you're a pedophile. Also, I think you're a bad dad. And you're like, that's kind of like the main one. We don't really need to. It feels weird to almost go into all the other shit to be like, I don't think you treat women well. You're like, yeah, I mean, that kind of comes with the pedophile thing, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, yeah, it's the interesting like takeaway of being like, I don't think your moral judgment is great, and you're not a great dad. It's like, yeah, those are going to go hand in hand.
I just always laugh with the pet. Like, he waited like 3 songs to bust out the pedophile thing. You're almost just like, hey man, you had that the whole time. Yeah. It feels weird to wait, because if you remember the song before that, he was like, Drake, we can stop this here. Because that's the other part I was thinking about, because I was listening to Kendrick's, because I was mainly listening to Not Like Us, but then I'm like, wait, let me go back on the other ones. And on the like one of the first 2, Kendrick's real thing was like, Drake, you can stop this right here. I'll stop right now. And then it makes you think, you're like, so wait, you were going to keep the pedophile thing to yourself?
Yeah. You mean that you were just going to report it just to the police, right? Or what were you going to say? You were just going to let that go. You're like, all right, you can go back to being a pedophile. Last warning.
Yeah, I'm like,
world.
Now, I will say Kendrick probably doesn't have hard evidence. He just has some whispers he's probably heard from other people.
From plants, from industry plants that Drake put there for. I know that's not what that means. But he actually allegedly had insight, which, by the way, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant defense to be like, to go like one of those things like, ha, I had somebody feeding you false information the whole time. Like, can you imagine somebody pulled that out against Chris Hansen, and they're just like, hey, by the way, Chris Hansen, I just fucking got your ass, stupid. I fucking had somebody planting all those messages to that 14-year-old girl. You idiot. You fell right for my trap.
Yeah, but then it also just goes like, well, wait, why did you? I don't
Like,
know. I forget the exact critiques of it, but
I just read the news that you were a pedophile, Drake. Trying to get ahead of it. What's going on?
well, yeah, I remember people were making good points where it was just like, why would you do it this way? And also, why would you wait this long to like? It would make way more sense to if you definitely did that and had all that info. Why didn't you do it the second Kendrick released his song?
Right.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
what was the other? But yeah, it just a lot of that didn't hold up. I will say this: this was the only part that kind of annoyed me. One of the parts that annoyed me about the Kendrick camp is a lot of the Kendrick people were, well, because like you see this influx of Drake's a pedo, Drake's creepy memes, and it's like there's part of you that sits there and goes, you're like, I mean, I'm happy we're pointing this out, but like I don't want to be this guy, but you go, this shit's been obvious for a while.
Yeah.
Like, dude, ever since that story came out where he's like, Millie Bobby Brown was like, yeah, Drake mentors me and we have private text conversations. Like, dude, these jokes should like, I'm just saying, if you guys are gonna be like this, like where were you when it was so fucking obvious back in the day? And then it makes me think, you go like, because people were making a lot of these, points where, did you hear? Kendrick called Drake a pedophile, and this is what Drake said. He said he's not. And you're like, I mean, that's what you would say though, if you weren't.
Yeah. It's just so funny that like that's where, I mean, and at this point, I don't know where we're at right now, or if you have any other updates besides that. But like
a few other things, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I don't know where this ends at this point. Like, where do you, so then you got the pedophile shit out there. Then what? Like what else? And also, how much bullshit do you have on Drake? And also, if you are familiar with any of these things being a crime, why wouldn't you go to the? This makes me feel this is a very big correlation to that documentary, The Jinx, when they were like, hey, we have all this evidence that's securing this thing. It's the only time I've ever seen somebody in a documentary go like, then we contacted the police and said, hey, how should we handle this? Because we think we got a lot of fucking crazy shit. And the cops were like, oh, well, and they're like, we got an interview with them coming up. Should we try to get them to confess? And they're like, I guess so. Yeah. Make sure weapon on them. I don't know.
No, and it's like that. And also in addition to that, it's like the point I was kind of getting at was like, you see a lot of these Kendrick fans, and I start to realize, I go, oh, you guys aren't motivated by the fact that Drake's probably a pedophile. You're motivated by the fact that you like Kendrick more.
Yeah.
And they're literally sitting there going like, haha, Kendrick got Drake. He fucked up his image. All right, let's move on. And you're like, well, no, like,
is he a pedophile?
Is he a pedo or not?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on now, because like that's the thing is like is also like, why the allegations? What did you hear? What do you? Because if it's the Millie Bobby Brown thing, then you're right. Then everybody should be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't call that certified, but that's definitely for sure alleged. You know what I mean? Like if certified lover boy, alleged pedophile.
Well, that's the big thing too with Drake is like, I don't think there's anything concrete, but there's like, everyone was going through all his lyrics. He's got so many like sus lyrics. And then there's this
Joe Paterno was right. Joe Paterno was right. Yeah, what?
Yo, let me get on that Lolita Express. No, and then there's the one that was making me laugh the most was because there's this video they keep bringing up where Drake brings a girl on stage and then he kisses her and then he's just like, wait a minute, how old are you? And she's like 17. Oh, yeah. He's just like, oh shit, that's still fucking awesome, right? Yeah. And then they posted up a video of Lil Wayne, who Lil Wayne's like Drake's mentor, big brother shit. Lil Wayne's like bringing a girl on stage and he goes, hold up, how old are you? Oh shit, get out of here. It's just like, yeah, dude, that's how you handle it.
I said, okay. I said 17. I guess depending on where you are, it could be legal. And I was like, but I said, so it's kind of explainable, right? I said, it's not like R. Kelly. I said that in front of a friend of mine, and he was like, what do you mean? And Manny and I got to reenact the R. Kelly in Africa when he's just like, "Do you have your shots? Did you get your shots? Do you got your passport? Do you have your bags packed? Are you ready?" And it's like he's like singing how he's gonna human traffic these ladies.
Dude, you're underselling it. I was talking to a buddy at work about that. It's fucking insane.
It's
He's literally
the weirdest details ever.
He's on stage literally belting the words out. Do you have all your shots? It's fucking crazy.
And like, it's not as egregious. I don't think it's as crazy as that, but I said that's definitely, again, if you're adding up all the evidence, you can be like, definitely alleged and suspected pedophile, but I would never say certified, because if he's a certified lover boy, he's the guy that's putting hot sauce in the condoms. That's fucking he's so, because so many people are trying to steal his cum. So like, if that's the case, that's one of those things. But if now if you're trying to say certified, pedophile, you can't say that. You can just definitely say, we got our eyes on you, you weirdo. Because still, a 17-year-old and going like,
right. I think the status of the
even if it's is weird.
I think the status of the Drake situation is a real walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, might be a certified pedophile. There was some other things too, because people were pulling up old tweets of Metro Boomin, who he was like the guy that kind of started this whole thing, because he put out that song Like That with Kendrick on it, where Kendrick initially started it. And you could tell the way Metro Boom. Well, I think also in the fact that in Drake's one diss, he basically goes like, Metro, shut the fuck up and make some beats. And then Metro Boomin makes that beat where it's like, BBL Drizzy. Did you hear that one? Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's just like a hype ass beat, and you hear like a choir type of vocals just going, BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy. And then he's going online like, it's funny because it's sometimes it's kind of, it seems embarrassing, but other times you got to respect the pettiness, because he's just thoroughly encouraging all these people to write diss tracks and use the beat and do all this shit. Yeah. But I don't know. It's like funny, but then you look at it's like Kendrick has hated Drake since not day one, but like Kendrick has for a while now, he's hated Drake, and he's consistently hated Drake.
Yeah.
It's some of these other guys that like, it's like Metro Boomin, you were big up in Drake like a year ago. And then, you see The Weeknd talking shit. You see Rick Ross talking shit. It's like it's like you guys were cool with Drake not that long ago. So it makes me think you guys were kind of being phonies. And now that it's cool to shit on Drake because Kendrick made it cool, now you're all kind of hopping on a bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's the only part where I'm just like, no, Kendrick's been a hater since that. So like Kendrick met Drake and then found out from his perspective, Drake sucks ass, and he's been a hater since then. He's been a hater since before To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. You guys have all fucked with him in the past year or two. Like,
yeah, I think that's the thing. I remember I would say that out of the two, I always thought of Kendrick Lamar again. Like I think we talked about this on the last one, of like him kind of being the more conscious guy, the guy that's like doing this and more. He's more of the artist, whereas Drake is more of the celebrity, right? More of the shticky kind of guy. And I remember everybody giving him shit about like it's weird because he was somebody that I was always confused of, like he was always super popular, super, people were very critical of him when he put out that dance album recently, or like in the past couple of years.
Drake?
Wasn't it? Like, didn't he put out something? Because I remember he put out a dance album and everybody piled on and said like, you're not a rapper, you're a piece of shit, you're just putting out a dance album. And then like,
well, it kind of goes in tandem with the fact that like Drake every album Drake puts out is sort of akin to whatever is like trending at the time. Drake doesn't have, if you go over the course of his career, he doesn't have like a core sound per se. He just kind of matches up with whatever the trending thing is at the time.
So like I guess that's why it's so interesting to see, because again, I've never thought of him as a hard or a tough guy. He's a fucking, I just say he's the guy from fucking Canada. He's a Canadian. It's
Well,
like
he's a pop star.
he's a pop star. Yeah. It's so them having a rap beef in general is just kind of strange. But I'm also like, I think I brought this up just earlier, like of like, where's this gonna fucking end? Because I don't think, like you say, like Kendrick won, but it's also like, but won what? Like a rap beef with a pop star. So like you sunk down. Like no, now I feel like you won the battle, but you're gonna lose the war, because overall Drake is a kind of a corny, cheesy guy that doesn't really give a shit if people make fun of him. Like you're the guy that everybody respected. Now you're gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, did you call that guy a pedophile? And you were like, you know what I mean? Like you just kind of like you resorted to name calling and lowering yourself to this pop star's level. I feel like and to me it makes him lose, because didn't he win like a Mark Twain prize or some shit? Like he's very much
Yeah.
a respected artist, and he's like sitting here going like, fuck you, piece of shit, I don't like you. Like, aren't you above that? Like, can't you?
I get, yeah, maybe. I guess from his perspective, it's
Like
more
you
like,
said, he hates him so much. He's hated him
well,
so intensely for so long. Apparently he's got this whole like fucking love album, like this whole like album of shit with him, like
yeah, no, I guess the thing is, I watched a video breaking down how Drake's basically been a problem since his first album. And there is this thing though where just as a so Drake's had so many of these weird little moments where, so like when he first met The Weeknd, he was like, I'm gonna develop you as an artist, all this, and they kind of worked together. And he did. I saw a lot of people debating this. And like when you make a point and then someone makes a contrary point that doesn't have to do with anything you said, but still feels like people like I saw a bunch of people saying like Drake, they were like, Drake is what Drake put The Weeknd on. And then you see a bunch of people going like, no, The Weeknd's album was really good. And you're like, that's not what he's saying. The Weeknd has always been really good, but Drake was the guy that gave him that first initial push.
right.
It was like the same thing with ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was really good, but Drake gave him that first initial push. So that always just seemed like an obvious point that a lot of people were missing because they were kind of getting emotional. But
Yeah.
so with The Weeknd, basically what happened is Drake was like, I'm going to sign you to OVO. I'm going to develop you as an artist. And then he kind of like Weeknd had a bunch of these songs for his next album, and Drake took like almost half of them and used them on Take Care. And that's kind of a foreshadowing of how Drake would be for the next coming years, because he's really a type of guy that sort of he'll kind of take advantage of a new artist and basically jack their sound, and then just kind of it kind of fucks them up. Well, it's a mixture of two things, because a lot of people will be like, it's the Drake curse. But then if you look back at a lot of the artists, there was like that dude, I Love McConan, who put out that I got the club going up on a Tuesday. And then if you listen to the rest of his catalog, you're like, oh, it's not like he was this amazing artist that got fucked over. Like his music's okay. And it's the same thing with Drake put on this other guy called Black Boy JB, and he had this song they did this song together called Look Alive, which was basically a Drake song because Drake did the whole hook.
Yeah.
He did the hook, the first verse, but they still called it a Black Boy JB song. But then Black Boy JB is one of those dudes where you're like, oh, it's the Drake curse. Why haven't we heard from him? And you're like, go listen to the rest of the catalog of his music. No, nothing personal. Just that's why we haven't heard a lot from him.
He didn't go anywhere because he didn't go anywhere.
But then exactly. But then there's a lot of examples where there's this artist Drum, who he had this one song.
Bum 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 bum. And which, by the way, if I may bring this up, it turned into was it Hotline Bling?
Hotline Bling. It didn't. So here's the thing. It didn't turn into Hotline Bling. If you listen to the songs next to each other, Drake clearly stole the structure of the song.
But
So it's not, I don't think Drake took any specific one like note or melody from the song, but it's the exact same structure. So he essentially took the song.
get this shit though, and this is the thing that I don't think anybody's brought up before. That if you listen to that drum song, because that is on my unskippables list, I love that song.
No, I believe you. You don't have to sing it. I believe you.
Oh, okay. If you listen to that song, the beat from that song, the music from that song is from fucking Super Mario Brothers. It's just bum, bum, bum. So you fucking stole it, you fuck. That's the thing. You took the Super Mario song. So saying like, hey, you stole my song that I stole. You fuck.
That's not what happened.
You didn't write that music. The reason Al Green gets pissed off when people sample his music is because, or he doesn't get upset. He's very dead. But the people from Al Green's estate get very upset when people sample Al Green's song. Is because they fucking wrote and recorded the song. Is like if you are saying I sampled that already.
Yeah. No. I get what you're saying. You said it over and over. I get what you're saying. That's not the same thing, though. That's not the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You need to chill the fuck out.
Elaborate.
Your little fucking dainty ass hand. You need to calm the fuck down. Elaborate. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need to scream the same point 5 more times? Did I cut you off from that?
Yes, you did actually. You say I give too much gaps. I have to keep talking, or else I won't be able to finish. Done.
No, taking a melody from fucking Super Mario and flipping it and reconstructing it in a way is not the same thing as stealing a song. He's repurposing it. He's not going, I wrote this. The reason Drake's stealing it is because he's essentially hearing what Drum did, and then he's putting out his own song and he's selling it off as like, I just did this. He's not like, if you went to Drum and said, where'd you get that melody? He goes, Super Mario.
Yeah.
So it's not stealing. It's repurposing it for a new song.
But did anybody ask Drake where he got the melody?
Yeah, and he lied about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he basically was like, I didn't rip off this guy, and it's like, you did.
You did. I just used the song that he ripped off.
No, it's not ripping off. It's repurposing.
Give the credit to the Nintendo developers that wrote that song.
He probably did. Do you not know how like sampling works? You have to pay people.
Not even a little bit.
It's abundantly clear. You have to pay people to use these things. So he probably paid whoever had the rights to use it in a song.
Do you think Drum paid for that?
All right. Now you're stepping into black people don't know the word computer territory.
That's from the other show. Don't say that.
You think Drum even knows what copyright laws are?
There's drums out there that don't even know the word computer.
He doesn't even know what broccoli is.
You're right.
That's his other song with.
That's not what I was implying. I'm just saying in the scale of did he have to? Because did he have to pay for it? Is that why he's pissed off at Drake? He's like, hey,
all right.
My song, and now I have to pay Nintendo, you fuck.
You have no reason to suspect that. You're just pulling things out of thin
air. Is this
air.
not Speculation Corner? I thought this was Speculation Corner. I apologize. That's my mistake, Andy. And for that, I want to apologize to you. And
I mislabeled the segment.
No, I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry to you.
Yeah. But you really should have. If I ever see you do this again, I will shoot you with a crossbow.
Did you see it?
I was like, yo, dude, when we do this in person, he's getting fucking.
You're gonna shoot me with a crossbow. I'll catch that some bitch and I'll eat it.
Then I'll come my whole fucking pants.
And then we add an episode.
That'll be the new show. Crossbow catch.
Pat gets Andy so angry that he wants to shoot him with a crossbow. Then Pat catches it in his teeth, and Andy comes. End of show.
Hell yeah. There was some other things that were very funny to me I wanted to bring up. This one what?
I just scared my cat with that point. I said oh, and the cat went
That's my favorite ever is when I cough real hard and the cats are just like, ah!
They're like, why are you dying? No, I was gonna say the thing that I wanted to bring up about the Kendrick and Drake beef real quick was the I feel like because the fact that Drake is quite frankly a pop star, not a rapper.
Yeah.
The fact that it was this competitive in general to this point where people were speculating for a while, like, who do you think won? Who do you think won? Or like, boy, Kendrick better reply. Oh boy, he better reply. Oh boy, oh
Boy, your order, Kendrick. You better.
he's gonna get one four. I tell you what.
That's
But
all. That's all us white people talking about it. Oh, Kendrick better talk back to that sucker.
they're gonna start thinking he's yellow. But no, they're if anything, like it reminds me of like Jake Paul. So like I think he's basically become Drake Paul in this sense because if Jake Paul beats a boxer, people are like, oh, I don't know, like yeah, but who was that boxer really? I mean that's pretty cool, I guess. But if he loses to a boxer, the boxer's like, yeah, you're a boxer. You of course he's gonna lose. Like you got nothing really. So like Drake was playing with house money in this sense because he's like, wow, in this rap beef as a pop star, I'm kind of holding my own. I'm doing all right. And then he ends up losing, but he's like, yeah, but it was pretty competitive to a point to where Kendrick had to say you are a pedophile. You are certifiably a pedophile, sir. And like
And not a lover boy.
and not a lover boy at all, sir. Good sir. That's how I do my rap beef. Pardon me, sir, but you are, I'm pretty sure, pedophile. But I just feel like it's just pretty funny because he's like, again, it's the fact that a pop star has held his own that this much in a rap beef
Yeah.
is pretty impressive on his. So it's still kind of a win for Drake. Drake literally, I feel like you say Drake curse, Drake doesn't lose. He doesn't. He's any one of those bets that you see him betting on a fighter, like, and they say, oh, that's Drake curse is coming up. That's not even his money that he's betting. It's not even like it's legitimately a sponsorship for a betting company that he's just using the money they give him to do that. Like he doesn't like even when he loses that bet, he's not losing money.
He's not losing his fucking money. Yeah.
He's not and that's what I'm saying is like, yes, he may have lost the beef, but like the fact that he was even this competitive with arguably one of the greatest rappers, of the time, and was able to kind of drag him down to his level. Like,
well, I say the only real way Drake I think Drake loses the beef, but the only real way Drake loses in life is if people start taking the pedophile shit seriously, because that could really,
if those
it was funny, like it was funny
released.
Yeah, well, it was funny too because like Lemaire sent me this this tweet, and it was some dude being like, "Oh shit, people are already making Drake edits," and it was like someone editing together like quick edits of all the like weird shit he said or all the like because he's had a few weird moments in interviews. You know, he showed the Millie Bobby Brown shit, all this other stuff. So I guess the real determining factor is how do the people that make the memes go with this.
and there was all those years that he was a producer at Nickelodeon too. That was pretty damn
dude. I know you're joking, but like he literally produced that show Euphoria, which was just
children having sex.
It was about high schoolers taking drugs and fucking. Like,
wow, this guy.
Which I will say, I do believe there is a of age shirtless Sydney Sweeney. So all jokes aside, I will be watching that show.
Right. So, and that's what do you know what season?
Euphoria.
Got it. Like YOU?
EUPH.
Oh, I'll wait until after. That's gonna
yeah, it's one of those fuckers.
It's gonna take a while. PH. What the? You said, and you're giving me a PH,
dude. That's like
what the fuck?
That's like the first time you see Yosemite written. You're like, what's this Yosemite bullshit?
Yosemite? What, dude? I said the word Orion is the right way to say it. I said it Orion every time I read it, and I thought there were two different words. Orion.
That's just an understandable mistake, my brother.
You think
I wanted to what?
You really Orion?
Yeah, dude, Orion. That's fair game. Let me show you this real quick. This was another page in the story that I found interesting because people found these old tweets and there were all lines from Kendrick's rap. Certified lover boy, more like certified pedophile. And this was from August 2021.
My Lady Footlocker.
Wait, what?
That was the name. My Lady Footlocker.
Dude, just a guy just being funny on the internet just for the sake of it is the funniest person ever.
It's like when good callers on a radio show, like funny callers on a radio show, are always like. That's why I loved Opie and Anthony so much. It was just the fact that like certified fans, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Certified.
Back Joyski said Drake's favorite chord must be A minor. And then Cammy Ice said if she listened to Drake, she an OV ho.
Oreo.
So a lot of people are throwing these out, but like I don't know, I'm mixed on it because on its face it's a bad look for Kendrick, but then because I will say his level of pettiness, I could see Kendrick just like searching Drake's name and just like through the years, just going on Twitter, searching Drake's name, finding out new extensive ways to hate him, and just like seeing people like in-depthly hating him and him enjoying that. But then on the other part, like this one here, wait, let me go back to it. This one here, Drake's favorite chord, it must be A minor. That's one I think anyone could think of.
That's a musician pedophile.
And then if you're like a hip hop dude or whatever, like calling OVO OV ho, that's not even that creative. Like, so I could see Kendrick on his own thinking of all these things.
Okay, so I was gonna say, so so he didn't sample these tweets.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
The certified lover boy, certified pedophile one, to me, is the most damning one because
I agree.
I don't think that's like, it's like the exact wording, the exact same way, and it's everything is just like, you didn't say any, like, obviously he's a certified lover boy, but instead of being
obviously,
like that's established, that's where that lyric comes from. But then when you come with the certified pedophile part, you're like, is it just the cadence of it? Is it whatever else? But I don't think it could be as easy to come across as, unless being like you said, you know, like just searching Drake's name and tweets or allegations or whatever you want. But like, that's so funny that like then what took you so long? Like, if you're just Googling, you know what I mean? Like, at this point,
fair point.
Why not just AI it and just fucking like, dude, I gotta say though, if I may, and I know I brought this up in the last episode, but I just want to give props to fucking Drake one more time. Having AI, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg talk shit about somebody is one of the funniest things. I don't give a shit if it's plagiarism. I don't give a shit if the families think it's disrespectful. It's hilarious. And that makes it more hilarious. And the fact that one of them's your these are your heroes, like that, and like you're saying like, hey, these guys think you're suck, just for like the split second where he's just like, what? You know what I mean? Like, wait, it's AI. You fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, what if he shot Snoop a text and was just like, dude, what the fuck? And he's just like, yo, it ain't me, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be funny just to have that, almost like just like a mini prank of like, because and that's another reason why I'm like, I don't think he was ever really fully invested. He doesn't give a shit. Like, this is fun. He's having a fun time and he's doing it in a funny way. Even if he's losing, like, so what if I'll take it down. I don't give a shit. But it's also like one of those things of like, I know there was a split second where you were like, you were going to shoot Snoop Dogg a text to be like, hey man, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I thought we were friends, dude.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, it is. Well, this is too why the whole you who won is
Easy. That would be funny. that would have been super funny. And like AI also throw in a funny jazzy line about AIDS.
This is why the whole like who won is, you know, if you look at the broader context, because I do hear what you're saying. Like, this is more passive because it does make it an interesting thing where Kendrick clearly had a lot of shit prepared and he was just waiting for Drake to like poke the bear somehow or like respond a certain type of way. Where it is funny too, where a lot of people go, Drake just didn't have to talk about his family and this wouldn't have happened. And you're like, I don't know. Kendrick clearly had like, he probably had an hour's worth of fucking disses ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, Kendrick was probably ecstatic that Drake got personal. He's like, final. Cause it's like, you can't say that. Cause then, you know, Kendrick's doing a like, dear Adonis, I'm going to tell you. It's like, dude, he's writing a letter to his kid. You don't, you like, I'll be like, the Kendrick shit was fun as hell, but you don't get to leave that with the moral high ground besides not being a pedophile. It's like, no, you displayed yourself as entertaining as hell, but a very petty individual.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why I feel like overall, like Drake, yeah, he may have lost the rap battle, the rap beef.
Yeah.
He's definitely won the war, I guess. I don't even know what you want.
I don't know if he won
the reputation war. Like he was able to take Kendrick, like no matter what, like people are gonna be like, oh, Kendrick Lamar, man, he was such a great prolific artist, and he was so poignant and he was so artistic, and I loved his word. Kind of a petty guy. You know what I mean? Like that. Now he's got that little, like the little hitch in his step. Like
here's
that.
the problem though, Pat, is the problem. No, but here's the problem. You're not wrong if we're just dealing with, you know, logically processing these events. The problem with the whole situation is all the Kendrick fans and all the hip hop fans essentially had this beef predetermined from the start. They just need, so that was like my only thing with this whole thing, where it's like, dude, as long as Kendrick didn't shit the bed, you had this whole thing already like predetermined. Now, I think Drake definitely didn't, like his one song was pretty good. I think it was Family Matters.
Yeah,
that one was pretty good, but I think generally speaking, Drake, to put it succinctly, he kind of dropped the ball in this whole thing. But I will say too, it's like it's hard to give it a proper assessment because, like I was saying before, like people were like, "Oh, did you hear Drake? Of course he's gonna say he's not a pedophile." And it's like, yeah, that's what you usually say when people call you a pedophile.
Yeah, ironically enough, that's what pedophiles and non-pedophiles. That's what everyone says when they're not a pedophile.
Yeah, so people were I saw so many people sort of unfairly assessing it. It's this weird thing where you're like, you guys got it wrong. You guys got it right for the wrong reasons, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like the fact that I think the only thing that's gonna hurt okay, now I know what I was trying to say. From start to finish, no one's opinions were really changed on Kendrick and Drake.
Right.
The only thing or generally speaking, because I do look at Kendrick as being way more petty than I thought he was. The only thing that might hurt Drake long term is if the pedo accusations stick. And that's just not, if Drake becomes like, if he got too much like negative stank on him, more mainstream people aren't going to want to fuck with him. He's not going to be able to get features from other rappers if he's labeled as like that guy's not great.
Certified lover boy. Certified lover of boys. That would have been a funny line.
Fuck you, Drake. Fuck you, Drake.
Allegedly. But yeah, I think that what are you doing? Are you leaving?
I dropped something small and I don't want my cats to eat it. I'm sorry.
Anyway. That was at the end of No More Heroes. I dropped a pencil eraser.
I was playing with a spring and I dropped it, and I don't want my cats to eat it because they like to eat shit.
Yeah, idiots.
I don't think they're in here though. But the last thing I will say to give Kendrick props is he did not copyright or monetize the song. So everybody who did reactions and reviews of the video got all the ad revenue from it. Now, that is cool, but Kendrick probably also did that so just the whole thing would spread more and more people would talk about it. But it's still cool. There was a dude who talks about music on YouTube. He said he paid his whole rent for the year off that one video.
God damn.
Yeah. So, you know, all in all, intentions aside, props to Kendrick for that. That's pretty fucking cool. And I think it's like, I wanted to talk about this too off of that, where it's like, I wish more, hopefully like record labels see that. And it's like, yeah, dude, this is why you guys need to go the way of the video game industry and lighten up your restrictions on people talking about. And I'm not saying it just because I have a reaction channel. I want to make a bunch of money. I mean, it would be nice.
Hey, win-win.
But no, I think even if I wasn't doing a reaction video, I'd still feel the same way, because it's like, I think that's the lesson they need to learn from the video game industry. Is the video game industry was just like, yeah, just like, we won't copyright strike you. Just fucking put out our content. Now you have, if people hear, oh, I could talk about music on YouTube and make ad revenue off those videos, you're gonna have more people talking about music. You just are. And then you have more people talking about music. They're going to talk. It's just going to help spread the word on good bands and just make music a much more like popular thing and shit like that. Yeah. So I just wish they went with that.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you'd hop in there.
I concur, Andy. That's a great point. And also,
concurs better than just silence, but you do you, dude.
Orion. Orion. No,
Orion.
I think the ad revenue, like in general, like the whole thing with not wanting it to be spread out, at least the singles or something like that, like, or in a situation like this where this isn't going on an album, this isn't like anything else, like stuff like that makes sense for them to put it out there for people to do. It truly is a win-win, where like,
yeah,
if you can make it compelling enough, they're getting more plays for the song, more people are being turned. If it's, I guess the only thing that maybe it could be negative, but it's still getting plays. I don't know. But either way, if I don't see why they wouldn't do it, but in a situation like this, it just makes a lot of sense, because you want as many people knowing that you have allegations about Drake that you have not shared with the police, but you will share with all of YouTube.
It was funny too that I have to piss so bad.
Okay.
Do you mind grabbing the wheel real quick?
Yeah, man, I'll grab the wheel just like Jesus. I got the beard. No, I think I really didn't follow it as closely because this was the entertaining thing about this. It's almost like news stories, or like when I was a kid, like I didn't really follow a lot of like the OJ trial, obviously, but I got so much information about the OJ trial strictly from late night TV, like either SNL or late night show monologues, like jokes and stuff like that. Very rarely did I get any of the information from the news. So a situation like this that gets so popular throughout everything, everybody gets an opinion about it because everybody knows about it. And like I am not really super familiar with either artist that well. I am more familiar with Drake just because he's more of a, like, that's why that's where I came down on this. And I feel like that's the funny thing about certain like things in the media like this, when it's like two humongous stars like this, everybody, like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I was bringing up that comparison earlier. The fact that they're two celebrities, or this is such a huge event that it becomes like even people that aren't direct fans of either one of those people. I don't follow Mike Tyson necessarily. I don't follow Jake Paul, but when I find out about this, it's because so many people are talking about it. So like it helps with the advertising for anything, and it's proven that it helps with it. You just have to have something at the end to sell, because otherwise, what are you bringing everybody there to? So Kendrick Lamar, Drake, if either one of them don't monetize and they have more people playing their shit, or anybody, more music in general just has that. It just literally means more people are going to hear it, and there's going to be more people exposed to it, not just fans of those things. So, it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with any of that shit too, like just having more, yeah, like you said, just having more people on it, because I think they worry. It's like they worry that, well, what if it's bad? Then they're gonna like have a bunch of bad reviews, and it's like,
don't put
it
out.
Yeah, just don't fucking sign horse shit. Because it's like, it's weird. It's weird, like just being online so much, listening to all this music, just being like, yeah, there's so much like good music. Like it's actually probably just easier to not put out horse shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just it's just easier just to do that if you or let the plays do the work for you. If you don't get a lot of plays or you get a lot of downvotes or whatever, let that help shape your
Well,
business. You
and
know,
then there's some bands that like feed off the negativity. Like
yeah,
it was funny. I saw so Dance Gavin Dance is going on tour with Ronnie Radke and Slaughter to Prevail, I believe. No, it was Black Veil Bride. Slaughter to Prevail might be there. But yeah, from like it's like I was like, oh shit, all those bands, you just call it the problematic tour or like
yeah,
the fucking because that's the thing too, is like part of Ronnie Radke or Falling in Reverse is his band is he like feeds off the controversy. It helps promote his band. So, you know, maybe not everyone wants to be a fucking a showman like him or a guy who's like, you know, a lightning rod like that.
right.
A lot of
He
people don't want they don't
he
want to be that, but it's like you still have a way of like monetizing horse shit. Actually,
he
his music's not even I'm not even saying his music's horseshit. It was funny. Someone posted the link to his new song and they're like, this has to be the worst piece of shit I've ever heard. And I listened to it, I go, it's actually not a bad song. Like half his shit is like okay. But I'm sorry, what were we saying?
but that's another good point to say. You should just let people play your song because somebody could post something like that and say this is a huge piece of shit, and you are still going to be like, well, I gotta hear this, and you listen to it and you're like, actually, it's not a bad song. I actually like it. So it's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter even if it is negative. But I think heat is heat, no matter what. If you got heat, you gotta cook, baby, because like that's just it. It's just what happens.
You're awesome.
I am. I'm pretty awesome.
I don't be defensive. I mean that.
No, I am. I was agreeing with you.
I was like, I just love, dude. That's it. Well, you got heat. You got to cook, baby, dude.
Yeah, you gotta cook, man.
Manage a fucking band already. That's who talks like that.
Yeah, that's some. It does sound like old school man.
Such a good cough. Yeah.
Anyway, no,
um.
but that's the thing is like, I was just reminded. I've been speaking of my anxiety, getting ready to pack for Austin and all this other bullshit. Like sorting through a bunch of my shit. I actually have a piece of merch here that I got from. Do you remember this?
Winning. Wait, you went to go see Charlie Sheen live?
Dude, I won tickets on the radio to see Charlie Sheen live at
Oh, okay.
at the same place that I go see the Tampa Bay Lightning play all the time. And I was like,
Wait, when did you move to PA?
2015.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
So I was still there. So I was like, I gotta go see this because
Yeah.
it was a tour. I remember specifically, it was a tour strictly on the fact that he was losing his fucking mind. He was like,
Yeah.
he had done that interview. It wasn't like necessarily a stand-up tour. I remember Jeff Ross was there. The comedian Jeff Ross was also on the tour. He
Mhm.
kind of like hosted the each event, and it was like a Q&A / speaking event between him and whatever. Like it was fucking crazy. But it was like I went to it. I would not have paid to go see it, but I
Yeah,
did.
no, that's why I was laughing. Like, damn, Pat, you paid for that. But no, if
No.
I got
I did pay for
free,
the merch. I bought merch. I did buy merch. I bought that,
yeah.
and I have
Oh,
like a dog, a winning #winning dog tag. It's fucking crazy.
yeah. No, I would have definitely been. Yeah, dude, you were being very proactive in that situation. Of course, you get. Was it, dude? That's so fun. I never knew anyone who actually went to that.
Yeah.
Was it? So was it genuinely entertaining, or was it like when you got to slow down to look at a car crash?
It was somewhere. It really legitimately those two comparisons. It was directly in between those because it was
Okay.
at times it was like, and not just like the times that like the professionals were up there because it was like Jeff Ross. I feel like somebody else was there too. Like that was like it was. They kind of did like a little mini roast
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and they kind of did that. It was entertaining, but it seemed very poorly produced. Like it was if not well thought out. You know,
Gotcha.
obviously it makes sense that it wouldn't be, but it just felt like it was very much like each night they were like, "Hey, let's try this." You know what I mean? Like, like there was like parts of it. It wasn't very well. It was just like a stage with a couple of chairs. There was very little pomp and circumstance. There wasn't like
Mm.
like an event or anything. So
They
I
were
think
just kind of like, I'm gonna figure it out because he didn't really like did
figure
he
it out as you go. Like that's what it
did
kind of
he
felt like.
did he do jokes or just kind of talk?
So I remember he came in from out, like came in from the crowd, and like he walked down to the stage, and he was wearing like a Rays jersey, but it was Vaughn, like from Major League. By the way, I am a huge Major League fan. I love that movie. So I am,
Oh, okay.
and also Hot Shots. I watched both of those growing up a ton. I am a Charlie Sheen fan.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, he's
so
a great actor.
so that's the car crash part of this, because I'm like, I gotta see like this guy. I remember this guy from my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta see what this is. I just had to know what the show was. So when I won the tickets, I was very excited. But I remember he came in from the crowd, came up on stage, kind of did, addressed the crowd. Hey, motherfuckers, you guys are here because you believe, and like hit him with some lines, the tiger blood, the fucking, chosen from God or whatever, the
Yeah.
winning, all the shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the things.
And then they started doing, then it was kind of like a little mini show, like Jeff Ross came out, and then he would bring him up, and then so it was just kind of a little variety show, like it felt like a very
Gotcha.
poorly thought out variety show. I don't remember a lot of the other details, but I just remember just being like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it was it was almost like, I remember I also saw Jello Biafra do his spoken word at
Yeah.
the State Theater, and I remember thinking like, I have no idea what to expect. And as it was going, I remember thinking, I still don't know what this is. Like I don't know
Yeah.
exactly. It was just felt like a talk. He just was talking. So just imagine going to see Charlie Sheen with other entertainers in between a little bit talking.
Yes, stuff like that. Stuff like that to me. I mean, maybe the artists aren't self-aware enough to understand that this might not be. It's like, we like you, but not for this.
Right.
I feel like the artist should almost. It's like when you're trying to feed your dog a pill, you wrap it in turkey.
Right.
And you're like, and I'm not even saying it's not a perfect analogy, because I'm not even saying whatever this artsy horseshit is the pill that's good for me. It might suck ass, but it's like, I would appreciate enough self-awareness from like a Jello Biafra type guy, where you're like, hey man, maybe bring a band and play a couple songs, and then you could do your spoken word bullshit.
Do like tell a story, or I don't know, I kind of sound like Jello Biafra saying that. Tell a story and maybe do something, but like lead into it. Do like a storyteller's song. Like tell us what political beliefs and or ideas, or what warlord was this song written about, and why should we hate them? You know what I'm saying? Like do something like that, where it's like, it's going to help us. It's because it didn't help, because he kept talking about Diane Feinstein, and I'm like, who the fuck is Diane Feinstein? It's like 2000 fucking 4, I think, at the time when I was seeing him. Might have been 5. I don't know.
I think she was a big deal then.
I like, but that's what I'm saying is like, I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who you're talking about. And I think maybe it was my mistake, because again, we've talked about this many times, Andy. When I get confused, I get angry, and then I realize how confused I am.
You
So
in the audience going, I don't know who that is.
I just had my hand up.
And it was like, sir, if you don't like the show, please leave.
We're not taking questions till the end. And I go like, okay, all right.
Because I guess if you're going to
I like dead Kennedys, bro. Can we just
if you're going to I feel like if you're going to a Jello Biafra spoken word, you should know who Diane Feinstein is, but he should also know to not make this spoken word thing suck ass.
read the room? When you look out in the audience, and there's guys going, who is it? Diane Feinstein? Who's Diane Feinstein? Is she a talk show host?
I just pictured a bunch of
host.
I just pictured a bunch of people there with like Liberty spikes about 10 minutes in going, oh, he's just talking.
Oh,
God damn it. He's just talking.
Where are the other guys?
Where's the black guy drummer?
Where's the black guy drummer? He's where's East Bay Ray?
Did you guys see if East
Guys, did you see if East Bay Ray was in the parking lot?
It's just fun. It's just extra funny because they're all like in their 50s and 60s and they still have their like 20-year-old nicknames.
Yeah. East Bay Ray.
Hey, is that East Bay Ray getting wheeled in?
Hey, EBR, what's going on, buddy?
Hey.
Like there's just somebody a producer on the side of the stage going, Stretch.
East Bay Ray's not here yet.
On his way. He's on his way.
I thought your drummer was here, but I realized I just think every black guy looks the same. Oh my God. I gotta keep looking for him. I'm just gonna ask every black guy in Florida if they play drums for the Dead Kennedys. I'll get back to you.
We'll find one.
Let me show you. I got a few quick ones I want to show you before we get out of here. This one is very exciting news, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
Are you sitting?
No, I've been squatting this whole time.
You've been holding the fucking squat.
My quads are.
So I saw this yesterday, I believe, and this got me very excited. You see the
I was gonna bring this. Did I send this to you? I didn't send it.
No, you did not. But from former guitarist, current pro wrestler, Andy Williams, former guitarist of Every Time I Die, has posted that he has started a new band. He tweets, "My new band, Atomic Rule, is playing Blissmas this year. The boys are back in town." So Blissmas, very funny.
Yeah.
Essentially,
you know where it is?
The Riverworks
in
Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
They're essentially they really should have renamed this Tid the Season Without Keith
or Bliss the Season. That's what this is. This is Bliss the Season with Converge, Better Lovers.
Well, no, it's literally just so if people who don't know, Every Time I Die, every Christmas in Buffalo would do Tis the Season or whatever the fuck it is. And dude, it's literally everyone but Keith.
Yeah, it's everybody but Keith. And actually 2 extra bands too. That's pretty crazy. You got 2 extra bands with Every Time I Die members. One opening tonight. You can see Atomic Rule looks like they start because then he's probably doing his wrestling. I'm sure there's
it says wrestling presented by the Butcher, Andy. Dude, this lineup kind of rules.
It really rules. I saw this and I was like, I really want to go to Buffalo in fucking December.
Bro, Better Lovers, Converge. I have not listened to Fleshwater, but I've heard very good things about them. Twitching Tongues, it's the band that the lead singer of the band does Hard Lore, that podcast I listen to. They're pretty good. Dying Wish, we've talked about before. They go really fucking hard. I don't know what this one down here is. Oh, Teenage Wrist. Yeah, their name kind of sucks, but I've listened to them. They're very good. I don't know, dude. I just, you know what it is?
Your name sucks. Fix your name.
I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, it was bad that we sort of romanticized slitting our wrists. Like, don't make that your fucking band name, dude. That's weird.
Dude.
It's fine. It's fine. And then, we've talked about Anxious before, and I got to imagine as one of the key riff developers of Every Time I Die, I can't imagine Atomic Rule is going to be a bad band. I mean, it's just going to be like Andy Williams being the head writer of a band. I'm assuming. I'm pretty excited to hear them.
I think they're going to atomic rock. How many shirts do they have?
What else? Dude, after that, what else do you got to say? Atomic Rule, they're gonna atomic rock.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to Bliss the Season in Buffalo. And honestly, dude, man, fuck, Keith's gonna be so sad, dude. Somebody's gonna have to watch this guy.
Dude, he's gonna relapse and take so many bathtubs.
Bro, he's gonna have a bath bomb ready at the just armed and ready, timer set.
I want to give them props real quick, actually. Look at this website.
Okay.
Look at it.
Oh, sure.
No, just like...
Any shirts?
Well, the biggest... Get off of it, Pat.
Go to the merch.
We will. It's the last. We'll click the last one. No, a lot of these. The biggest complaint is that like these festivals or attempts at festivals get thrown together haphazardly. So to have like a well constructed website is very nice.
I got cookies though.
That's not a bad ticket, dude.
It is.
What?
What? Is it one day?
Calm down. It is one day. $50 a ticket is not bad for that lineup.
Go ahead, pop 2 of those jokers in your cart real quick.
No.
Just do it just for fun to show them how easy it is.
And then pay for them.
And then just show them how easy it is to pay for both of them.
This is kind of funny. Many of you have been here for some sick shows in the past. This year is no different. Buffalo Riverworks is located on the edge of downtown Buffalo, blah, blah, blah. Here's some things to know. There will be re-entry until 6 p.m. I like this. They're giving them all a little heads up.
It's so wonderful. Look at that. Where to stay. It'll be announced. Okay. Well, that's I picked the one thing that's not completed, but that's my fault. There's also what? Go ahead.
No, I was just the airport situation was interesting because I'm like, yeah, this is probably it said 10 miles from the airport. I guess that's not crazy, but I bet they said like you could take Ubers. I bet you the Uber situation in Buffalo, like this might be when the Bills aren't playing, this might be the biggest thing to happen to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Things to do, fucking nothing, dude.
That's hilarious.
Here in Buffalo. Contact us. All right, let's see the merch.
Also, contact them and ask them how many shirts we can get. Oh my God, look at this. Okay, this is everybody's Better Lovers with their 48 shirts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Keep going. That's a shirt.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7. Oh, it's just Better Lovers. Wait. How many shirts is that?
That's a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 shirts.
Like 4 songs, 5 songs? Jesus Christ, guys.
I think they have like 8 songs.
Merch festival. I'm like it. I'll buy it. I want to meet the guy from Dillinger, and I also want to meet the drummer from Mutoid Man. Be like, I saw you guys twice when you guys were over because he drums for Converge. I don't know if you knew that, but
yeah, I know that.
Pretty cool. I know that. A lot of people here don't know that. Ben, I also know your name's Ben. And he's gonna go, stop talking to me, please. Like, I'll go, hey, did you see how many fucking shirts Better Lovers has? Come on, like, right?
Like, I'm in Better Lovers.
I'll be like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Well, I like the shirts you have.
Pat, the shirt to song ratio is crazy. You can literally buy 3 shirts for every song.
Holy God. Oh, there's more?
Oh my God, there's more shirts.
There's more shirts.
How many fucking shirts do they have, dude? Wait, so 19, 20, 19, 20, 21, 20.
Well, no, they have shorts. And not just shirts, they have shorts.
22, 23.
Lord almighty, guys. What is going on with you? You are a merch band. You guys better rock harder.
You guys better rock really hard because that's a lot of shirts.
They better be playing more than 8 songs at Bliss the season. I mean, are we going to get a full length out of these fellas?
I would guess that they have a full length worth of songs. That's a lot of shirts.
Thank you, Andy. Are you okay? You do understand there is a number eventually where you're going to go, whoa, guys.
I guess my whole thing was initially you throw out 3 or 4 shirts on the first release. That's not a big deal.
Okay, I gotcha. But
23 shirts though.
Hoodies, guys, sweaters.
There's a moment where you get greedy.
Shorts, for crying out loud. What's going on? You guys are in the apparel business?
Let me this made me laugh. And I thought I don't know how much commentary we'd have, but this just made me laugh. So this happened at a Tsunami show. This guy got on stage and they handed him the mic and he got a little overzealous and this happened. AJPD. Okay, here, wait. So you know how in the Tsunami, AJPD smoke You know, in the middle of Tsunami songs, they have that moment where like the music kind of cuts out and it's just guitar, and he's just like, if you see a cop, you strangle him and shoot him in the head, and you take your knife and you stab him in his dick hole. What's the Tsunami style, motherfucker?
Yeah, they're just like, nobody can fuck like people on the East Bay, bitch, you fucking bitch, you fuck, bitch. And you're like, all right.
If I see anyone, literally anyone, I will fucking shoot them. Tsunami, bitch.
Yeah, they're just like, why did you just call me that?
Why are you fucking yelling?
You're gonna insult me too?
But yeah, so this happened.
A huge fan.
NJPD's most wanted, public enemy #1, Pizza West and Tsunami. That was the wrong song. That was the wrong song, homie.
That's just good stuff. I don't even know what to say about it. That's just good stuff.
That is fucking hilarious. That honestly though, that guy took it well, because I don't know if he knew. He doesn't have the inner ear monitor. He probably can't hear. He's probably not standing in front of a monitor, so he can't hear. I don't think what that guy said to him, but that's so hilarious that the guy said, made sure the crowd knew. You guys are right. Yeah, that was the wrong song. You guys, hey, nice try, buddy. Thank you. But
yeah, but like in his defense,
yeah,
Tsunami's got like 3 songs that do that, and they all sound exactly the same.
And they're full sentences, and they're very directed at a certain particular police force of some that you don't like, and it's just you want to do something, and it's usually bitch, you know.
So this goes out to the security guards at the basketball stadium. I did not. Or no, he just comes at TSA. He's like, I did not have too much liquid in my drink. Fuck 5-0.
But we're doing a virtual pinky swear now, because if we ever get the mic at a Tsunami show, we are doing a very specific call out. This to that fucking bitch at Starbucks that always gets my fucking order wrong. I tell you, I just want 1 shot of espresso, no sweetener, and you always put sweetener in it. And I swear to God, the lotion that you use really fucking fucks with me, because you touch the lid and it smells like lilacs. What's Tsunami style, bitch?
You still include the 187 on a PIG.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about baristas I don't like.
That barista, the specific one at the Target by my work, you know. You're just like, I don't know, like or like you said, the TSA or the fucking NSA. This is because Waco, they were just minding their own business, trying to sell some guns and fuck some other dudes' wives, but Tsunami style on a pig, bitch, fuck, cunt.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna need like 13 minutes. I really want to talk about the Armenian genocide, and a lot of people don't speak on it enough. 187 on a pig.
We have to go very, very specific, but very much the wrong song. I feel
you just grab the mic. You're like, my mom's a bitch.
wrong song energy style, bitch.
Hell yeah. I thought that one would make you happy. This last one I want to talk about, and then we can get the hell out of here. But this last one I wanted to talk about, it's kind of old, but I still have it saved in my bookmarks on Twitter, and every time I see it, it annoys the fucking shit out of me. I was actually talking about him earlier. It's about my beloved Kid Cudi.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's nothing personal on my Kid Cudi hate. I don't get the love. But basically, this happened. This was at some festival he was doing recently.
Oh my God. Did he break his leg?
And then getting carried out.
Did he break his leg? It looked like he looked down or did he just sprain his ankle or some shit?
I don't know, because
that's a pretty far drop.
Well, first off, it's like, my guy, why are you just doing a regular jump? Have you not jumped off of shit?
Yeah. Why are you committing to this if you haven't done something similar to this? Also, drop the mic. Yeah, it's hard to tell that if he fucked, I don't think he did. I think he would be screaming otherwise.
Yeah, but, it's hard to tell how badly he fucked up his ankle.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking smiling afterwards. And I just, I could be wrong. Maybe he had the worst fucking blown out ankle in the history of ankles.
Like
I
the
don't
way
know.
he
But
looked at him, just kind of sat there. It was like it kind of almost looked like he was in shock. Like, oh,
but the
it doesn't go
vibe,
that way.
the vibe I'm getting is like, I don't know. It's just I look at this as a consumer, and I like if I was a big Kid Cudi fan and I saw that, I'd be like, oh, you're not gonna like try at least one more song?
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave immediately? Like, dude, we make fun of him all the time, but like even Zach De La Roach had I forget what the fuck it was, but he had something fucked up about him, and he was trying to make this last tour work, and they got a couple shows in, and he put out this big heartfelt apology. He's like, dude, I tried. I can't get through these shows. It's so like he was doing the shows in a wheelchair. And I know Dave Grohl, we make fun of him a lot, but Dave Grohl did it too a while ago, was like doing shows in a wheelchair and shit like that. Andrew WK legendarily had like the wheelchair shit. And so it's like, I don't know. I just, with that in my mind, I just see, like, I'm sure Kid Cudi fucked up his ankle, but there's this part of, especially too, he's probably at one of those concerts where you pay like $400 a ticket to see Kid Cudi sing for 40 minutes, like half a mile away from the stage. And to just be like, first off, he hurt his ankle by being a fucking idiot. Yeah. And then he's like, not even going to try to keep going with the show. I don't know. That just, I don't know. If I was a fan of his, that would bug the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, I think just in general of like it almost looks like, and this is just my speculation, but like it almost looks like he might be like kind of fucked up already. So maybe he was like, he just kind of, that's why he's not showing whatever kind of pain he might be in.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Like, and that's also why he didn't land right. But like, I feel like you got to know.
That's why he did the dumbest thing ever.
You got to know, you got to bend your knees. You got to, like, there's a way you need to land. Like,
parkour. We've all seen enough parkour videos. You roll into it.
It's something like, at least to me, it just seems like I think there's a lot more to the story besides just like some dickhead making a dickhead mistake. Like he could be a drunk dickhead, could be a high dickhead, but but either way, like somebody must have, I was going to say must have looked at him and said, you got to get help. But like, maybe it's more of like the help. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, hey man, we need to cut you off, or you need to get a little help, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the acid he was on, like the breaking of his ankle, like cracked another level of it open.
He's just like, well, I mean, I just saw on the UFC in St. Louis last night. There was a fighter, Terrence McKenna. Shout out Terrence McKenna, T-Rex. He actually got knocked out, and when he got knocked out, he just went like knocked out. He sat up against the cage. He started going like this.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
he's like putting his hands out too. He's going like. It was just kind of like one of those things that like he might have gone like fallen down, like immediately gone into shotgun and just kind of like I gotta go, guys.
That's the only part I hate about the UFC is like you're just like, yeah, it's just two warriors in there. Yeah, and then you see them doing shit like that where they're like, you're like, oh dear God, oh no, he'll never be the same.
Yeah. The last time I saw Bryce Mitchell got knocked out, we did not talk about him in the last episode.
Oh, that clip you sent me, yeah.
But Bryce Mitchell, when the last time I saw him get knocked out, he started to convulse. And I personally, in all my years of watching combat sports, has never seen somebody could get into convulsions.
Yeah.
Except for sometimes when you get choked out, you kind of like shake a little bit, but it's not like he was like convulsing for a while, and you're like, oh my god, is he dying? When I saw the Ben Askren get knocked out by Masvidal live, and like I was like, I did react by the but I was like, oh my god, and like because he was like as stiff as a board as he hit the floor, and then he punched him like 3 more times, the super necessary punches.
Yeah, well, you gotta understand the ref never called the fight,
and yeah, it's Herb Dean's fault. One of my favorite fighters, Derek Lewis, who won last night, said the same thing when he beat up Curtis Blades. He knocked him out with an uppercut when he shot in to take him down, and then was again stiff as a board when he hits the ground. Those are pretty scary, but it's still pretty funny when you're just like, hey, yeah, I know I punched him like 4 or 5 extra times, but I don't know, maybe he might have gotten up. You're like,
yeah, that is that That's the only part of UFC I don't like is whenever that kind of when you clearly see them actively getting brain damage, you're like, yeah. This part isn't fun. This part isn't fun. This part isn't fun.
Yeah, I also saw Anderson Silva's leg break live. I saw the other guy, the what's his face, Chris Weidman's leg break, and Conor McGregor's leg break live. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, is this again? Like, what is wrong with people's shin bones? God damn it. Strength
wasn't Conor McGregor's thing he went into that fight hurt?
He apparently already had a hairline fracture in his shin already. And when he checked a kick, or when he kicked Dustin, he checked it in a way that he knew from a fight prior to that. Dustin Poirier had learned if you check a kick at a certain angle, it actually can really kind of injure you. So that specific check with Conor's specific pre-existing injury made for the perfect storm of Anderson Silva. And so, because that's to me, that's what you call. I know people have had that injury before him, but to me, that's the Anderson Silva when you break your shin like that. So I thought that's possibly, and we just missed it in the angle, what happened to Kid Cudi, and he was just really cool about it. But when they started like carrying him, like hanging him over their shoulders and carrying him out, they can't be that, because he would definitely be screaming at that point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just thought I would have if I just thought if I was a fan and he didn't like attempt to if he didn't attempt to just try one more song,
yeah,
I would have been like, shit, I did, I had to kill my mother and steal her gold to get here.
Steal her gold.
I don't know. I've been podcasting for 4 hours today.
I do have a question though, real quick. Was that the end of his set, or was that like beginning, middle?
Like, all right. Don't check if I have all the info.
Because that would have been my thing. If that was no. I was gonna say, as a fan, even if that was his finale, I would be like, that's such a dumb fucking way to leave. Why? Like,
it's such a shitty fucking way to get hurt.
He's just like, yeah, everybody, fuck yeah, thanks for coming, and they're just like, okay, excuse me. Oh, ow. Can somebody help? Somebody carry me. And then you just get carried out. Like, it would be like this, you're this fucking rock god, and then like it doesn't matter necessarily where in the set it happened, but even if at the end it was the finale, it would be like, that kind of ruins the whole show. You're like I said, I saw the Dead Kennedys without Jello Biafra as the lead singer, including the black drummer. Let me tell you something, brother. I saw them with Brandon Cruz.
I'll use that voice.
But I guess I shouldn't use those so close. But and the show was great. I had a fucking amazing time. But all that really sticks out to me, the main memory, it was Brandon Cruz pitching that hissy fit at the end when somebody supposedly snatched his necklace, and he was like, "We are not playing one more second until somebody gets back my necklace." And he like not held us hostage, but like basically sat there and was like, "You guys aren't getting any more Dead Kennedys until I get my stuff back, okay? Because this is not fair. This is not how we treat people, okay?" And you're just like, Jesus Christ, is this really this is who you are?
I forgot you brought that up. That sucks ass.
It's such an interesting. I'm so grateful for that experience, because that really makes me feel like not just like never meet your heroes, but like legitimately like like nobody's punk as fuck.
There's
punk as fuck.
There's a lot of times where you don't want to meet your heroes.
But that was one of those situations where like I didn't even know who this fucking guy was. But I'm like, at the end of the show, I was like, you know what? Like, I didn't really necessarily miss Jello. I wish he was here. It would be cool to see a complete, with East Bay Ray and the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting this guy, whatever, that's fine. And then he's just like, all right, everybody, empty your pockets.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah. All right. This has been a great episode. It's been a great day of content.
Honestly, it's been one of the greatest days of my life. And
I know.
Will you be my mother?
Yes, dude. Get over here and suck on these tits.
Will you breastfeed me with those bosoms of yours?
Yes.
Patty hungry. Baby hungry.
All right.
Daddy, feed me.
I'm gonna feed you that crossbow I talked about earlier.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the silencing crossbow that we have in studio where every once in a while you go, Pat.
You're not, and you are not catching it.
I'm
I
like,
know.
Okay.
All right, Chip. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. Until then, have a good one. Be about a peace.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.